According to Forbes magazine, it's so useful, Groupon is the fastest growing company ever. Enter their offices and there's the Forbes cover, but it's surrounded by other covers of high-tech has-beens, as if they're asking themselves, could we be the next to fall by the wayside? It's a good question.
Well, the greatest challenge to their business is that it's unclear that it's defensible.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, financial columnist for the New York Times and host at CNBC, says the biggest downside is how easy the model is to replicate.
There are 500 other competitors out there that all want to do and be Groupon. Amazon is getting into this business. Others are getting into this business. Google is getting into this business.
But what Andrew Mason will tell you is that so far they've killed them all off. So far, they have spent an extraordinary amount of money to market their business so that they've been able to beat back a lot of the competition. Right.
The question is, if you're spending as much money as they are, whether that you can actually create a profit long term.
That's given rise to doubts about the very sustainability of the company. For one, they spend more money than they take in on such things as wooing new subscribers. And it's expensive to employ 10,000 people. By contrast, Facebook has less than 3,000.
At the moment, they have yet to turn a profit.
They've yet to turn a profit at all.
At all.
Hi, thanks for calling Groupon. This is Bethany. How can I help you?
Add to that horror stories from merchants, like the baker who made 102,000 cupcakes for all the Groupon buyers. But with the steep markdowns, she lost $20,000. And businesses complain Groupon customers come once and never want to pay full price again.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that.
But Mason was still the new boy wonder until the summer, when he decided to make Groupon a publicly traded company, and it had to open its books. What raised eyebrows were the accounting tricks that made their huge marketing costs disappear on paper. And they also double counted how much money they were bringing in. So on their books, they made $60 million in 2010, when in reality they lost $420 million. Analysts began calling Groupon unviable, a Ponzi scheme, and wondered if any grown-ups were minding the store.
There are things we would have done differently and we would have loved to avoid.
But it really hurt you. It looked as though something was fishy.
I think the big thing about Groupon is just people had never seen anything grow quite so fast, and that made people want to dig in and be skeptical. And
no, but you contributed to it. You didn't put the honest revenue figure down. You left out marketing costs. It seemed like a Bush League mistake.
I don't think it's fair to say that it wasn't an honest revenue figure, and a Bush League mistake that our auditors looked at and thought was like, smart people can get this stuff wrong. We're inventing a new industry. Like, if we were smart, evil people, we would be more cunning and subtle in our evil ways, you know?
At the time, Mason couldn't address the mounting criticism because companies are prohibited from giving interviews in the lead up to going public. But his impatience drove him to do something that drew the wrath of the regulators. He answered the criticisms in an internal memo to his 10,000 employees, and sure enough, it leaked. Here's some of the adjectives that were used to describe you when that memo leaked. Thin-skinned, impetuous, and childish.
Look, I'm not going to pretend like it's been fun to sit here and have something that we've poured our hearts into over the last 3 years and see it criticized while we have our mouths taped shut. It's kind of like we've now been hazed, you know? We're like Wolverine, and our skin has been melted off, and we've had adamantium fused onto our bones, and it's made the culture stronger as a result.
I'm not sure what that means. But Groupon ended up having a wildly successful opening day, trading on NASDAQ as a public company. On the first trading day, your personal worth jumped to $1.3 billion. Are you checking the stock price every minute?
No,
Be true. Come on. How often?
I checked it once yesterday afternoon, and then I felt dirty, and I haven't checked it again since. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Now I want to know. How's it doing?
Well, it's been zigzagging just above and below the initial trading price.
You just hit buy?
Buy. I bought it. Mason continues to expand the company. He showed me how he's moving deals onto mobile devices.
Oh, I want to get pampered.
But the questions remain. Will Groupon become part of our lives, like Google and Amazon? Or will it be relegated to the .com dustbin? And will the founder have to tone it down?
I saw you at NASDAQ, I guess it was, and there you were in this Armani kind of suit and a tie.
How could,
completely
what's an
shaved.
Armani type of suit? What
Really
exactly
nice
does that
suit,
look
an
like? Just nice,
expensive
okay.
suit. Was that the first tie you ever owned? Do you even own the tie? Did you rent the tie?
No, I own over 4 ties.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you think about showing up in a suit and tie for 60 Minutes?
No, I asked if I should,
And?
and they said that I shouldn't.
That you shouldn't.
So maybe, you know what? Maybe I am changing because I might have not asked before.